think of every negative emotion that a human being goes through. Depression, anxiety, sadness, frustration. We often like to say that these people that are suffering in hair loss are suffering in silence. And the reason why they're suffering in silence is because the problem is still largely regarded as cosmetic. It's, as far as health authorities see, hair loss, as far as insurance companies see hair loss, it's cosmetic. And, there's a feeling of shame that these women and men and children, not so much, but definitely men and women that come to see me feel, even asking for help, because they tend to say, well, I know that, that people are suffering with life-threatening diseases and this is just hair. Well, it's not just hair, because it affects how they live their lives, how they interact. It affects every facet of their life. Yeah.
The common theme or the common thread is it's a confidence issue, so whether it's male pattern hair loss, a young guy who looks older than he actually is because of his hair loss pattern, or on the facial aesthetic side, something about, their nose or their neckline or their jawline or something that really affects their confidence. And so that's the thing that we hear commonly is, we actually have a questionnaire that says, what are your motivations, why now, all that sort of stuff. And it's typically I think it would improve my confidence, and that's how it would kind of impact my life in a positive way. And then we often see that, and when our staff will kind of comment on that, I remember this patient when she came in for a consult and she was kind of shy and timid, and then they come back at their 1 year and they're just bouncing down the halls full of confidence.
Totally.
I can think of a patient that I saw not that long ago. She's about a year out from surgery, and she said, that was the biggest thing. It improved her confidence in a way where she's like, I got a promotion at my job. And I think it's because, I'm no longer kind of fixated on, the appearance of my nose. In fact, she even brought her mom from France, and she had a surgery on her nose as well. So it can be a really, you can sometimes get into this concept of this notion of it's just for the looks, it's just aesthetics, it's maybe a little bit unnecessary. But for most of our patients, it's totally life-changing. And so from a practitioner standpoint, it's some of the most satisfying stuff that we do.